It's Tuesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. I never do this alone. I have the ladies with me. YK in the building.
Joe, good morning. Good morning.
And nicely carried up.
Yes. I'm starting to wear my birthday gifts. Yes.
You look amazing. I saw your shoes. Oh, you gotta see. YK, those shoes. You gotta see those shoes. Oh. These are her gifts to herself. Look at the butterflies. Very lovely shoes.
You know, this suit, I've had this suit for years. But I never had anything to match it, so I've never worn it. And I got these shoes. And
they're so nice.
Hey, okay.
So they're like your gifts to yourself.
Yes.
Lovely.
Beautiful.
I do. Well, you have to take it easy with high heels.
You know, if I fall down now, I'll be off the show for like 6 months.
You are looking for opportunities to be off the show.
Because, you know, once the bones break now,
it's difficult to couple together, right?
Very difficult.
How you doing, YK?
I'm fine. Oh, I'm okay. I had a nice weekend. The Moke treated me to at a hotel.
Nice.
So
you needed that rest after all the planning.
I did. I have another one coming that my cousins did for me. I don't know, maybe I'll do that one in 2 weeks.
So you just sleep, eat, and enjoy your time. That's good.
I had fun. It was nice.
Enjoy.
Good. How are you doing?
I think I've lost count of school runs. So today is open day, and I just found out this morning.
Oh.
My daughter kept saying open day yesterday, and I was saying to her, it's not possible. Open day is usually Thursdays and all of that. But she kept insisting, Mommy, can you check? It's supposed to be 8. So this morning I was getting ready. I have a schedule for the afternoon to get to the law firm. And I now looked at the calendar. That's why I call him everybody. I beg you. I got to take beg on now because
we use myself for
failure to show up before 1 is that you did not come.
Today is your open day.
So my goodness, Tuesday, you're right.
So after the show now, just raise down.
This parenting and working thing, we have to take it well. But thank you, Gufan, for being so,
How you doing?
Open day is basically to see what the children have done and followed. I don't wait till open day. As I'm noticing the progress, I'm following up. So that the days I don't show up for open day, I already know where my child is at. So I won't be feeling guilty.
I love this your dress.
Yeah,
It's very
thank you.
Today is today's Oga's birthday.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Mr.
He's a year older today.
Yes,
and
he is.
Oga's wife is coming to the office.
I'm just celebrating the birthday on his behalf.
She's going there.
Yes, I'm going there to
turn up.
Turn up.
Let them know that
the staff is expecting.
Yeah, because
they know Madam will show
up.
up.
You have to show up.
Oh, you will go to his office?
Yes, now. We got it all planned.
I just see how fresh you look. You go to your husband's office. See how nice you look.
I look at the sexy.
I told you guys that he's also my side piece as well. You know how you look when you're going to meet your side piece.
So we are going to Oga's office today. These are regards to him.
Yeah, thank you.
Many happy returns.
Thank you.
So no cake for us.
I'll see if
Just
I
tell
can
her
get
she's on a
cake.
diet.
Yeah, but you're supposed to be on a diet, aren't you?
Please, why came on your business? Bring it for us tomorrow.
Okay.
You see how she's such elderly people now.
Exactly, no respect at all. We have to take her to Umuada.
Never reach Umuada.
Never reach Umuada.
What's that?
Okay, she can pay small fine, sha. Village elders, women that gather to judge cases.
It's rich there, no matter.
Hey, Nigeria is not at that level. Let us go. Let us bring back our.
Let's talk serious.
Let's talk serious matter. Things are happening.
Yeah.
This is Nigeria. This is where. Let's go on a break.
Okay.
When we come back, we go through the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Right. Let's start with the nation. Federal government declares attacks on public assets terror act. Twitter suspended for threatening national security. Ex-Speaker Ete, lawmakers orders back Miyetti Allah for second term. 4 million barrels per day oil production is target. Communities shut markets, shops to honor TB Joshua. Ibuagu's failure to take off forces founding chairman to quit. And Igongo King evicted. Seriki behind attack, says community. All right, which story are we taking here? Major headline, please.
You know, there was an APC event in Osun where the former Speaker of House of Reps, Miss Honorable Patricia Ete, and some other members of the APC endorsed the Governor of Osun State for a second term, commending his work so far in Osun State. And I see some videos from Osun regularly too. I think he's doing well. But the major headline is sad. There was a town hall meeting on the stolen assets. You know, people destroying our assets across the country. Chaired by the Minister for Information, the Minister for Transportation, the Minister for Works and Housing, and I think another minister was at that event, the Minister for Aviation were at that event, all of them decrying what happens in their various capacities. And Minister for Transportation particularly like what he said, that, you know, for stealing rail lines and rail parts on the track is not an offense that is just punishable. Of course, it's a felony, but not just punishable by imprisonment. He thinks that, you know, if it costs life, it's punishable as by death sentence as well. Because if you take out a part and the train is coming, they do not see that part has been removed, and then it causes the death of because each coach carries up to 85,000 people, 85 people. And, you know, because of that, maybe we lost some lives. The person whoever is convicted for that crime has to pay by his own life as well. And then the Commissioner for Works and Housing also talked about 3 billion naira that is meant for us to do more things now, being used for repairs of some of these facilities also vandalized and all of that.
Just painful.
And all of them just talk generally on.
I'll talk about TB Joshua for a bit.
Please.
Okay, yes. So they said the leaders of Arigidi community in Akoko, Northwest Local Government area of Ondo State, were able to close down markets, shops to honor the founder of Synagogue Church, Prophet Temitope Balogun Joshua. We know him as TB Joshua. He said that he has supported the needy in that environment for a very long time. He worked in that area. He was able to restore electricity, provided scholarships for indigent students, gave money and food to the elderly and widow. And even the neighboring towns also had to still shut down their markets and shops just to honor him. And everybody was saying that it's really a painful loss. He was like a shining star of that locality, and the fact that he was already building a university for them before he died. So the pain was just so much for a lot of people. It was going to take them a while to, you know, forget him. So they had opened condolence registers, one at the palace in the village.
I sincerely hope that his good works wouldn't just go to waste, because I mean, I heard that he gives to the community.
Yes,
I hope that somehow
majorly
this continue even after his death.
His wife says that he just excused himself from prayer. And when she went to look at him, he was sitting down. And she didn't know he was dead. Called the church members to come and wake him up.
From the altar to God's grace.
All right. Oba Lasisi Adeoye has accused the evicted Seriki Fulani in Igongom for being the mastermind behind the killings that happened in Igongom on Saturday. According to him, Seriki Fulani had hired mercenaries who came to attack the community on Saturday, and that he said that the Seriki which was a victim of the land, that he was one that sent people to attack them. So he sent those people that collected money to fight wars to attack us on Saturday. They entered the town around 11 p.m. and killed. As the counts we have, it was 50 yesterday, but now he's looking at 25. Actually, was the verified number. Their souls rest in peace. Moving on now quickly to the Punch. Police confused on mass trial order. Adeboye Kumi defy Twitter ban. Man stabs Ogun bricklayer to death over 20,000 naira debt. Scenes of the train crash at in Pakistan. Really, really sad. Joshua, Ondo Community Market shut to honor him. Mbaka flays DSS summons, says, I can't be dumbfounded. Warrior appoints aides for wife on admin and women affairs. Pupils withdrawn, fear grips Ibarakwa over rumored fresh attack. Nigeria among top 3 countries with electricity deficits, says World Bank. And INEC prepares for voter registration, concludes polling units expansion. Okay.
Father Mbaka. So according to this Punch reports, he may have been invited by the DSS. According to them, their correspondents found out that DSS operatives from Abuja went to Adoration Ground in Enugu, and they were not able to see him. And then also in his sermon, he said that, I was told that they came from Abuja to, to give me a letter, maybe to invite me. And then he kept talking that, he cannot be dumbfounded by this invitation. He's spoken out against administration back after administration, starting from Abacha to Babangida, and that he has always spoken out. And if this is what they choose, he leads them to God. And he has told them, the church has told them to come back on Monday to give him that letter. That would have been yesterday. I will follow this story to see why they think to summon him now.
And the human interest story.
Yes.
Michael Sunday stabbed somebody called a bricklayer called Abraham, who was owing he had been owing his mother 50,000, and he paid 30. So he was sitting on the wall with somebody when the bricklayer came in. Where is my mother's 20,000? That one said, "Oh, I don't have money. Wait till Tuesday." And he got up and stabbed him with a bokum bottle. Yeah. I think on his arm. So people started talking. Then he now stabbed him again, I think on his upper body. And then people started coming and he says, "If you come around me, I will stab you too. You want to join him?"
Wow.
Eventually, they took the guy to the hospital, but 4 hospitals rejected him. The last one, the General Hospital, Nikman, declared him dead.
Wow.
So him and his mother are now in detention. And the people are saying, well, he has a violent nature. That is his. So he has anger management issues, obviously.
Okay, INEC?
Yes, INEC. So yesterday, which was Monday, INEC had said that it has concluded the task of creating additional polling units, and they are going to be, publishing the comprehensive list of all the polling units by next week after their several meetings. So what they did was to convert the voting points and voting point settlements into full polling units so that it will avoid the case of overcrowding during the time of elections. They were also given a fire engine. You know that a few of the INEC offices were burned down nationwide, I think about 42 of them, and then they needed fire service. And so they have been given that engine. And after all the meetings they are going to have, they said they were able to accomplish this in 25 years. And after all the meetings, we are going to have details of our login registration for elections that's coming up on 2025
years.
Yeah. They were able to achieve, giving us enough polling units. It's been a problem.
The sensational story in the Punch that the president has appointed aides for his wife. What the president actually did was appoint Rukaya Tugurin as senior special assistant to the president on administration and women affairs in the office of the First Lady, and also appoint Dr. Muhammad Abdurrahman as senior special assistant to the president on health and development partners in the office of the First Lady. These are the two appointments that are working in the office of the First Lady.
All right, so still on the Gbarakwa land, another community, Idire, was attacked by killer headsmen. Unfortunately, the vigilante groups were able to repel the attack and they allowed them to come into town. So Idire is another town within the Gbarakwa land, just like Igogon. Idire, actually. Idire is one of the towns within the Gbarakwa land. And it's quite sad that within 24 hours, another group of killer headsmen had the audacity to come out.
I blame the security apparatus, not Amotekwa. I'm talking about the police. Because, there was an attack in Burkina Faso where 132 people died.
Yes, I heard that story.
It seems like the same kind of thing that's happening here. So there are these people, they are giving all these people, because of the unrest in Libya. So all these people have guns. So what we need to do is get our own security so that we can get rid of these people. They are not even supposed to be Nigerian. Yes. Get rid of these people.
Really, really.
They are sitting down and they are watching all these people dying every day.
The most painful part is that we're a country and we're still not able to defend our people. How do
we deliberately allow it first start to this point.
Thank you.
We colorate everything, ethnic, religion,
politics,
till it gets out of hand. Rather than focus on the crime at hand, all parties in the country are divided, discussing irrelevant things till...
Where we have foreigners in our midst killing our people.
Exactly. The head of Amotekun had said Tuesday, before the attack in Igogon, that there were infiltration of, Malians, Fulanis from outside the country, within the country. And rather than deal with the issues, the Fulani were still debating.
Let's go to a quick break. We have to go. When we come back, we continue with the front page review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Moving on now to Vanguard. Twitter. Free expression vital, says US, UK, EU tell the federal government. Southeast Security disquiet as Ibubiagu chairman General Umahi quits. Secession don't stand in the way of Igbos, NEF tells federal government. TB Joshua, how I found my husband dead, says widow. June 12, Inspector General Police reads Riot Act to zonal AIGs and commands. Reps threaten sanctions against IGP, NSA, others over recovered loot. At Papa Gridlock, how we uncovered 30 extortion points, says NPA. Electricity firms reject load despite increased availability. And PIB to be passed before end of June, says Senate. Okay, let's start with electricity. Yes.
So, according to this report, the quantity of electricity rejected by the discos in the third week of May increased by 11.7%. And this is according to the transmission company of TCN. They are the ones who transmit power to discos for further distribution to consumers. Yeah. And discos, according to them, keep rejecting the load. I think that I'm tired of hearing. The first time I heard it, I was shocked. But this time around, I'm wondering if the discos have issues with distributing excess power load. It's probably because they have to pay for it, and maybe they don't have the capacity to do that. So because when the TCN comes out and says that no, the drop in electricity supply in the country is because discos are rejecting power, without looking and telling us why discos are rejecting power, every time I think it's a one-sided narrative. If discos are rejecting power, according to this report that they counted all the way, how it's continued to increase over time, there must be an underlying issue that has not been addressed. But the Apapa Gridlock, so according to the new Oga at MPA, they've been able to uncover 30 extortion points on the Apapa, Apapa Road. And this, according to them, is why the e-collab system failed. So now they're asking for help, talking to the Lagos State government to curb corruption along that road. We know that there's extortion points across the roads. We also know that these people had promised to help to ensure that the e-collab system would fail. What we don't know is what you guys, what the MPA did or what they are doing presently now, aside calling for help to stop that. Because even if you drive past, you will see each extortion point and you will see Agberos assisting to do this extortion. Are you arresting, prosecuting, ensuring that this does not continue? And also, we need emergency assistance during accidents, falling trucks and all of that. There's a falling truck now this morning on your way in from Kadeko Bridge, Bega, and there's no help. It's been there for
it's so amazing. It's because the system is systemic failure. If only we could just gather ourselves, like these 30 extortion points. Carry all of them.
Raid them.
But who will raid? Because
the people that will raid are part of the accomplices.
They said the security agencies are even fighting each other who is going to be there.
They are complicit.
Because of what they are benefiting. It's been in the papers a few weeks now. But I wanted to talk about the discos. They have complained over time that they don't have the capacity to receive
and distribute. So shouldn't we be working on, helping them increase their capacity? And not saying that they should find their way anyhow. Yeah, that's
but obviously they don't have that capacity. I wanted to talk about Ebubago. So the chairman, founding chairman, Major General Obi Abel Omahi, said yesterday that he's resigning. I think he put out his resignation letter on June 4th, saying that the governors have not funded the security outfits. Right now, as we speak, there is no office for it. He said from the inception, they had made plans on how they were going to use drones and all the gadgets that they needed to get it to work. But till today, no governor, directly or indirectly, have spent a dime in that security out. They don't even have an office. So he's happy that they gave him that opportunity to be the chairman, but he wants to step down because this cannot work. But anytime that they need him, he's promising that he will come and give them advice.
Isn't he putting the cart before the horse? I think the first things first is to get the legal backing. I thought that's what they did with Amotekun. Go to the House of Assembly, what is legalized. The office space is legal. For me, it's not even as important.
Let's commend this chairman of the Ebubeagu for resigning. Before they will use their mouth to set him up. So they've made lip service about what they're doing, about happening. And the level of insecurity in their state is continually increasing. But they put their mouth,
the chairman resigned because they've not gotten a legal backing, I would understand. Telling me because they've not got office space, for me, it's secondary.
It shows that they're not even serious.
They are not ready.
If you make me chairman of
nothing, exactly.
What am I doing
with Amotek were here when they said they had donated, governors were donating vans, they were donating this, they were donating that. Even before they got out the backing from the National Assembly. No, they didn't start legal first. They did not.
They went straight to legal.
Chairman was known before legal was done. There was back and forth between them.
Before they went to legal. But they got that legal before they started getting them
questioning regional policing at the time when they
can't remember. I can't agree on it.
They had that issue where they had to stop them. Yes, they set it up first.
I was going to take a story here. There's a story I wanted to take. Oh, finally, PIB. We've been talking about this for 20 whole years. Petroleum Industry Bill.
Another lip service.
Another lip service. You know, the Senate said they were supposed to pass it by end of May. Now they are saying it will be end of June. One day, they'll pass this PIB.
One day.
And hopefully, because when they do, it's part of unbundling the entire petroleum industry, so that every region can have some kind of ownership to not just the refining, but also the distribution of the products at the end of the day. Okay, let us see what other story. Moving on now to Daily Sun. Akeredolu Adeboye Kumuyi El-Rufai Fayose Sean Twitter ban. Killer headsman resurfaced in Idere 24 hours after Igangan bloodbath. Southern governors jokers, says Miyetti Allah. Insecurity, 30 killed in another Benue attack. Okay, let's start with Miyetti Allah. What are they saying?
Yes, so they are calling the 17 southern governors jokers, saying that this ban of open grazing is not backed by the Constitution. And so they are telling their Fulani headers to stay quietly in the towns. They are not supposed to leave. There's no backing, and so they are not going to be in support of it. That, every Nigerian has a right, basically, to stay wherever they are and do their business. That the government should focus, first of all, on, getting the criminals that have been fighting the Southeast governors, not basically banning open grazing. So they are just jokers. They are not in support of it. Everybody should go about their business.
Adeboye, the way they put it, you think, it's because they have offices
around the world,
170 nations.
Wow.
So those are still on Twitter.
Yes.
It's not that, I don't know if their Nigerian Twitter is still operating.
It's not working, no.
It's their Twitter in all the...
So they have global offices. Yes. And you can't tell their global office not to tweet.
Exactly.
So those ones are not banned. But it's those ones in Nigeria that we cannot tweet. So please, don't go and arrest our
If your location is Nigeria,
he's not tweeting from Nigeria.
Tweet, yes.
Please.
And they are tweeting from their abroad. As
okay, I think we run out of time. I think I have 2 more minutes. Let's take the Nigerian Tribune. Nigerians must have free access to self-expression, says U.S. envoy. Heavy security presence in Igangan. Reps probe NPA over utilization of $18 million insurance fund. Allow Southeast to secede if their leaders insist, said Northern elders. IGP suspends tinted glasses permits, says roadblocks remain banned. And Twitter ban may run us bankrupt, says entrepreneurs. We'll take that in our hot topic. Okay, who has the Northern elders?
I do. Yes. So they are advising the federal government to allow the Southeast succeed if they have a lot of support, right? Because it seems that it's majority of them that are in support of secession. So instead of rubbing it all over everybody and causing harm, if they want to go, peacefully allow them go. That was just the message.
The IGP has also banned...
please, that one, the cars that have the natural one, are they banned too? Would you break a windscreen?
Factory-fitted...
okay.
No, I don't know. We need clarity.
Yeah, what did the story say? You have the story.
Subsequently, permission for tinted glass permit has been stopped by the IGP, so nobody is granting it now. And roadblocks will soon resurface in certain areas in response to the level of insecurity that we have. And I think the third one is the special plate numbers, you know, that is also disapproved from being granted subsequently.
What? YK Power? YK Power too, I beg you.
Seriously? No. Is that why they haven't given me my... They haven't given me my own.
Police, please, come and clarify.
He wants
YK Power too. Want to have
okay, that's all we can take.
We can return my money.
Have you paid for it?
I paid since last week.
Aww. YK Power too. Please,
they may have done
okay, the one that is already there. YK Power one.
Yeah, you can use it.
I think you can leave it.
Okay,
get normal one now.
That's all we can take.
They have to return my money now.
On front page review, when we come back, we would like to open our phone lines and let Nigerians who are complaining about the Twitter suspension, how it's cramping their businesses and impeding their growth. So we'd like you to call in and let us know what you're going through so the government can see the effects of this suspension. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So before we move on to our hot topic, it's important that we restate what the Inspector General of Police said concerning the number plate. Let me read verbatim. He said that the IGP ordered the immediate suspension of further issuance of spy number plates and tinted glass permits due to abuses associated with other use across the country. Therefore, it doesn't affect your private number. So YK, can I get your YK?
Is you that clarified?
I'm clarifying it. Yes, that's exactly.
You know why I'm asking for clarity? I drive with the dealer's number that I maintain every year.
Okay.
And I pay to the MVA for that. Other people have special plates numbers.
It says spy number.
Before you have
spy number is police related. Yes, it's police related. So it doesn't affect you. Don't worry. Stop being in Nigeria.
I don't
understand. Once it's spy number, it doesn't affect you.
Don't come and be making somebody afraid for nothing.
Spy.
Now, let us move on to our topic for today. Twitter ban. Yesterday we talked about it. We had a guest in where we talked about the legality, or illegality of this, and Nigeria being a sovereign nation, even if they had the right, they're within their rights to say categorically they don't want a certain organization functioning in their country. We had that conversation yesterday. But today we want to take it from a different angle. We want entrepreneurs to call in to share with us their experience so far, because we read in the paper some entrepreneurs complaining that their business have suffered in the last 48 hours since this suspension has been effected. So you can call us on 081-270-53687. You can also call us on 091-390-76948. You can't tweet to us, so please send us a message on Facebook. Go to TVC Connect, and you see us on Facebook, and we can read your messages from there. All right, so I think Nima and BC will be taking, but so far,
I'm doing YouTube.
Okay, you do YouTube.
I'm doing YouTube.
Oh, God. So you do YouTube, you do Facebook.
Facebook.
All right. So let's talk. I mean, you're not here when we talk about the Twitter ban, YK and BC. What were your initial thoughts first before we now go into the effects?
Okay, so I know that Nigeria is a sovereign nation, and like every sovereign nation, they have a right to determine what happens in their space.
Yeah.
It's their right. Nobody can fault them for that. But I have a problem with always not doing things right. I believe that they should have somehow had an agreement with people who are setting up social media accounts that the subscribers themselves, not subscribers, the how do I call it now? The network themselves, you know, have like a form of agreement, have a form of licensing, because I don't think you can go into any other country and just set up something like this without having a license from their government. So that's where they should have, you know, worked on. And secondly, instead of having an outright ban, so it's like saying, because this child is obese, I will no longer feed the child. Instead of managing the food that you give to the child, taking out the food, you know, from the child because the child is obese is more like, you know, I don't want to use the normal cliche, throwing the baby with it. This baby is always in the bathwater, so I don't care about this baby. But I believe that they should have, you know, found a way to come to the table and say, this and this is what we have noticed about this particular network. And going forward, if you want to operate in a country like Nigeria, these are the rules and the regulations and the guidelines, not an outright. You know, a few months ago, no, Maria, let me land. A few months ago, this particular account, Twitter, went to give headquarters to another country, Ghana, because of things like this. It hasn't even happened, and now it's happening to them. So other networks will be thinking, tomorrow they can come and say, okay, Facebook is off. Next tomorrow they can say Instagram is off, not caring that there are a lot of young men and women who are making a living, legitimate living from these networks.
So just like Tokwe had said, Tokwe mentioned yesterday, she reminded us that there are other countries that have been through this phase where, yes, the suspension precedes that conversation you're talking about. So we suspend you first. We don't like what you're doing. We suspend you. Now it's time for you to come to the table. Let's have a conversation and go. If you're going to be in our country, here are the terms. Here are the things. These are the terms of engagement. So maybe that is not a total ban. It's a suspension. But the fact that even though it's been suspended, Nigerians are crying that it is affecting our businesses. So should the federal government have considered the effects before suspending? Or do you think as a sovereign nation, hey, it's within their prerogative to say we don't want it anymore? Why can't?
You see, my own problem is this. When you have people who are too old that are ruling a people that are majority young people, we have this kind of problem. Now, you see, like someone like me, I didn't know that if you make a comment that I don't like on Twitter, I can report you.
Okay.
Which is what the people did not know. So, all those comments that were against the government could have reported
those comments.
If they knew, but they didn't know to report.
Because of age.
So, people now reported their own.
And they took it down.
And Twitter just did offensive
reports
because of the number of reports. If they had a technical know-how, techie person, they said, oh, no, let's quickly report. Before
they would have taken those ones down.
Before President had time to tweet his own, they would have taken all those ones down. It was after. Oh, okay, they now started reporting. So you see, you need young people to be in government to understand what this is.
Especially in the 21st century.
We're not in the jet age again. We're not even in space age. We're in computer that age. You know, the age of
AI, artificial intelligence.
Virtual age.
Internet of things.
So, I don't think, sorry, let me just say, I don't think that they should have banned Twitter because I think that it is not democratic. This is a democracy. It is not, if we're in China or North Korea or all those communists, so they should say whether we are social or communist. That's all.
So, you see, when I watch international media, especially during that Trump campaign, and I hear all the things they say against Trump, and the way they insult him, all the they do all the memes, and okay, hey, you try 0.00% of this in Nigeria that are banned because NBC, our regulator, have instructed that stations across totally go off Twitter. Now, so this is a bold, they deactivate their account. So this is a bold move, saying ho-ha that we don't want Twitter. Now, initially it was a suspension, but it's almost looking like a ban.
A ban,
And that's when I just need this conversation. That are we going to have this conversation, this meeting with Twitter to have new regulations within Nigeria, or we're just saying we're done with Twitter?
So this is where my own lies. As much as Nigerians are making money on Twitter, can we just be reasonable? And I blame our National Assembly and our Houses of Assembly when it comes to this. when it comes to the integrity, unity of a country, countries rise up. Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, was facing the Congress one time ago over data compromising data of American citizens in their country. In fact, he used to go there, you will see him on video, obviously shaking, because he knew he was meeting serious-minded people. In this country, we had a person asking for secession of a certain tribe in this country, over and over, and 8 being promoted. No Nigerian thought to report it. Our federal government have special assistants on everything, including social media, all of them. And those people say they're not tech enough. They tell government.
They are our auntie. What's that name?
Auntie, that one that I have.
They are not. Obviously, when they have said it, they are not.
You will tell you
don't worry.
They are not.
Those people do not tell government to report, because you see, the debate here is not because government has every power to do what they've done. We're a sovereign nation. We cannot be apologetic to anything corporate entity registered in another country. That is my take. But because we are doing it at a time when it seems it's for the most frivolous reason. It looks personal. That's why we're having this conversation.
Vindictive.
If Twitter is doing its business and the cost of its business goes to the root of our unity, Twitter should be banned, in fact, evicted, pata. That's what it should be done. But because at the time it was done, it looked like our president was addressing a personal issue. We had issues that our National Assembly should have.
The committee, bad tweets.
Thank you. Committee upon committee on committee. We have committee for unity. We must have committee for social media. We must have committee for communications. We have a minister for communications who did not think to advise the president at the earliest time to address Twitter on issues that were divisive. Tweets that were flying everywhere. Nobody talked about it.
They did not know.
Thank you, Nima.
Let
me talk. Philip, are you there?
They didn't know.
Philip, are you there?
I'm here.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
How every one of you there?
We're doing well.
Thank you. We're all right.
Actually, this is my first time of calling.
Welcome to the show.
For the past 2 years, I will try and call. It will not go. Sometimes I will make a little prayer before I will call. It will not go. So I'm not going to contribute anything this morning, but just to appreciate you people.
Thank you,
because you are the voice of the voiceless.
Thank you.
The time when you celebrated birthday, I couldn't connect. When your sister Yemi celebrated birthday, I couldn't connect. But on the background here, I'm praying for all of you.
Thank you very much.
To contribute. But today, I just want to pray for you. Don't go ahead and do your work. We are supporting you in prayer and everything.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go to a quick break. When we come back, we'll open our phone lines because we want to hear from Nigerians. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're going to be opening our phone lines very soon. But I think I really like what Nima had said before the break, because it's also an indictment on us as Nigerians and how unpatriotic we are. Because many of us have seen, because we say it so easily, oh, the streets of Twitter are very toxic. The streets of Twitter are very, very, they are combative. They are, if you go there,
they will roast you.
We say when we joke about it, for us it's not a big deal because that's where people throw out the venomous messages about the nation. Yes, if you are having each other, that's your business. But when you say such negativity about our country and people just laugh about it. So based on what you said, we have seen these messages and we've just walked past. But then our president says something because we ask him to speak. He says something and suddenly we then report it so much that to get to the point where they now got vindictive by saying they are suspending Twitter. But the point is, we also should have taken responsibility for those who are uttering, who are sending out venomous messages against, divisive messages against Nigerians. That also should have been reported.
Well, if you are a reporter, then you should have reported. Me, I've never reported anybody on Twitter before.
You're not a reporter.
I'm not a reporter. But
Please let me
because I still believe that the government should have had somebody who was checking those messages and reporting them to Twitter.
Yes.
And saying, this is a divisive message. You need to delete this. And then we have evidence against Twitter. See all the ones that we reported. So if I'm saying the wrong thing now, all the government has to do now is say, look, we did report.
Yes.
And they didn't do anything about it.
So if they have that evidence, then we know that the Twitter was being deliberate by allowing this device to
exactly. I believe that they have people who are watching it and just reacting to it. So they have a team of essays for social media, from the office of the First Lady, the Vice President, all of those offices. And all they do, they read the tweets, they react to it. You have some people whose job
is to react.
Where's Kuku call her name? They are online. On a chair code, they react, they call you out, they abuse your father on Twitter. That's what they do. Rather than look at this tweet and say, no, this tweet goes to the root of our country. And do
the right thing.
The very foundations that build, promote our country's unity, and report it, and even Twitter, people should also join in reporting it. You can ask for people to sign petitions against such a thing. Yeah. So that Twitter sits up and know that there are serious people in that country online using their facility. But we even in Nigerians that are crying, we're all crying. Because we think our means of livelihood is affected.
All right, so that's
thinking of security and safety.
Innocent, thanks for calling. Are you there? Innocent, are you there? Innocent? I think we lost that call.
Hello?
So, yeah, you're live. Go ahead, please. Innocent, can you hear me? Okay. Let me come to you, BC.
Yeah, so I think this just points to the failure of government to know what it's supposed to do and do the right thing at the right time. This is an era of, this is a digital era where things, it's online, it's machine, it's not human beings. So there are rules of engagement when you are going to be using such. There are, like when you talk about these reporting issues, when you report and report, and the owner of Twitter does not go to read all the comments in people's pages. He doesn't even know. But when the reports come, the machine can pick it and do what is needed. So it's failure on our part not to know how to rightfully engage with this social media platform. That's one. Two, my worry is that...
It's like employing someone like me now. What do I know about
Exactly.
Twitter?
My worry is that we've been thinking of how to get money, loans, businesses. We want foreign investors to come. These are some of the things that they'll be looking at to say, are you sure we can thrive?
Erratic policies.
Yes. Are you sure we can thrive in a nation like Nigeria? Because any policy can just come up and we lose money and lose everything. So I think it's very, it's good to be upset about certain things. It's good to assert your sovereignty. But at the same time, the long-term effects should be considered, not on just your people, but your economy at the same time. We need to consider that.
Let me take Angel. Angel, are you there? I really want to hear from Nigerians today because, Angel, are you there?
Yes, good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Okay. First of all, I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you, thank you. All right, I would like to comment on the Twitter suspension in Nigeria. First of all,
Angel? Oh, we lost that call. Messages on Facebook or...
Let me see if I can take some from here.
Let's take... people on Twitter have come on Facebook. Now, Festus Akinboye, I can see you. It says, last Sunday, the British Home Secretary was on national TV blasting social media. The ban and suspension of Twitter in Nigeria is like killing a fly with a sledgehammer. But Twitter needs to put its house in order. 10 people will interpret what PMB said differently. Twitter must have a way of analyzing every tweet before they remove them. There are many fiendish people whose duty is to report anything and everything to Twitter. Innocent Samuel Rocco says, we have seen over and over again in the US, how partisan Twitter can be. Any tweet undermining Democrats is quickly taken down, while those against Republicans is made to trend. Watch Congress sittings and see for yourself constant complaints from Republicans. You mustn't report before Twitter takes down tweets. That is clearly in their own rules. They do take down as it suits their agenda.
Mukoro,
Moses
Mukoro says, what insecurity? Now Twitter calls Boko Haram and Fulani headsmen killing.
Adebayo Adebakare says, why should innocent Nigerians be paying for the ignorance of the government? What does the Minister of Communication understand about ICT? These are things killing the great nation. The government will just take an action without thinking of its effects on citizens. Indirectly, the government wants to silence Nigerians. Today it is Twitter, tomorrow it might be Facebook. What the government is doing is not proper.
Right. Akinyele Ajayi says, it's a joke. They could have checkmated this act by making good money from them. Agnes Olayemi says, yes, I really love that white case view. The young need someone like them to cohabit better.
Let me take this call from Peter. Peter, are you there from Surulere? You're live. Go ahead, please.
First-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks. Listen, you guys, man, you inspire everybody. Let me just say that. But on this Twitter issue, I think for me, for once, I'm actually proud of the Nigerian government on one hand. And on another hand, I'm also disappointed in a lot of ways that, you know, people report about Nigeria abroad. You know, it's as if nothing good happens in Nigeria. Now, we have linked Twitter directly to violence in Nigeria during the NSAS protest, and then also this ESM situation in the southwest, where they're burning police stations, they're burning INEC offices, and people are actually dying. We have that all militarized, and we can trace a lot of that stuff back to Twitter. Now, where does Twitter have the responsibility for themselves to actually guard against things that can cause problems in another person's country? Let's not say Nigeria as a whole. There's a lot of problems with these new age media, I would say, which is like Twitter, Facebook, and all of that. So the rules and regulations are not quite set to the point that we feel totally comfortable as the government and the people. Yeah, it's a sad situation that people are losing money and all of that. But also Nigeria is not making money off Twitter. It is the people making money. That's where the government, I would say, got it wrong. They went to, Ghana, but so what, really? They don't have to come to Nigeria.
Sorry, I didn't really hear what you said. But I have a story
It says that the people of Nigeria are the ones making money off Twitter, not the government of Nigeria. And that Twitter, took their business, their office to Ghana. Yeah. You know, they're making their own money.
So there's a gentleman whose story I saw in the Nigerian Tribune today, and it was really heartbreaking. His name is Elijah Peter, and he's a postgraduate student of one of the foremost universities here. He was talking to Nigerian Tribune, and he was saying that his online footwear store, shoe locker, his primary customers came from Twitter, and it was the proceeds he was using to pay for his education. So this is a man whose entire business has been run ground because Twitter has been suspended. So these are the economic effects, because there's that ripple effect of he's getting that money and he's using to pay for his education. We understand the sovereignty of the decision. However, at the same time, they need to bring Twitter to a conversation table
where
they discuss it.
That's what a democratic government does. When you are taking decisions, take your people into consideration. Because what it seems like, I may be wrong, but what it seems like is they did it in reaction to
what happened.
What happened. Not because if that's the case, they should have been taking it. Well, so there are so many bad comments that Twitter, you haven't banned all these ones.
He came across as petty. When the government is
vindictive.
There's also a sad part of social media. Social media has not only become our marketplace, it's also become our courts. It's become our police.
Everything.
People would do business and actually go to the person, write to the person and say, you're owing me or you've defrauded me, and go to the police and they won't find justice. But the moment they call out a known person online and say, you, so and so, this so and so to me online, tag and retag. There was a young lady who did the logo for a popular movie in this country, and she did not get justice by just discussing. It was until she called out, some actors started retweeting for her, and that was her court.
Where she found justice. That was
that Inni girl. It was through Twitter. You see,
a lot of our system.
Justice on business. It's not our police, it's not our justice system.
Our government should sit up.
A lot of information. I know there is a lot of, there are many false reports, but there are a lot of true honest ones. And, that's...
Also, I think that social media has given the Nigerian youth a voice. They can stand up, they can come together. It's more in sync with what they do on a daily basis, because they are becoming more tech as they grow, and they can come together with one voice and speak against certain ills and, you know, issues that are happening in the country. And that is when the government will now pay attention to those issues. We've seen it happen over time. But I want to appeal to anybody who is doing business in Nigeria. You know the country that you live in. It will be unfair for you to put all your eggs in one basket. Your business should not all just be on one platform. It should be on all the platforms, and it should also be on, you should have access to your business physically. Because tomorrow, anything can just go, and you have nothing to fall back on. So don't wait.
That's not what
I understand.
A good working government country does.
I understand.
Business should not just go.
I understand.
Because
it is what it is.
When you're in Roman,
it is what it is.
When they want to run for election, they all use Twitter.
I know.
They all use Twitter. They all use Facebook.
But
that's all we can take. I think, in summary, we would really like the federal government to have a conversation with Twitter and to hopefully restore this soon. Yes, we understand the reasons for their suspension, but we hope that this can be resolved so that Nigerians who rely on this platform for their businesses can resume their work.
Yeah.
Let's go on a break. When we come back, move on to another very, very important hot topic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So, the Onion Producers and Marketers Association, UPMAN, they say that they are going to discontinue the supply of onions to the southern states. This was said by their president, Aliyu Issa. And according to him, 4.5 billion naira worth of onions and properties were destroyed by suspected hoodlums across the southern states. And specifically, he was saying in Abia, Shasha Market in Oyo State, and other local governments within Imo State, they lost 30 trailers, 9 utility cars, 50 stores, 10,000 bags of onions, including other valuables. According to him, during the last NSAS project, other people were compensated, leaving out their own members, and that in Shasha, they lost about 27 lives, 5 trailers, 5,600 bags of onions, 12 utility cars, and other valuables. He also said that in February this year, they lost about 13 million naira worth of onions. So, according to them, they are done. They're not bringing onions down south again, at least until the federal government can prove to them or show them that they'll protect their businesses and their wares. Now, what are your thoughts on this? Because obviously, onion is an essential commodity for us. And in fact, this ban started as of yesterday, midnight yesterday. That means as of today, onion is not entering this. In fact, I'm not going to buy onion yet. I'm in trouble. After the show now, I'm going straight to my 12 market.
I went to the market yesterday. I saw the onion. I felt, oh, we still have in the house, and I didn't buy. Imagine. And
I'll call. I have one of my friends that goes to my house for me. I'll tell her to me, because the truth is, yes, it's one thing for us to quickly go and gather onion and buy. But another thing is that the reality, the fact that these people feel threatened, they feel that their goods have been destroyed, and nobody has come to their aid. These are legitimate business owners.
Earlier I said that, you know, we always colorate things till when it's too late. So when this ban was made, I was reading online and reading comments. Somebody said, they should just even ban everything from the north. We don't eat anything from the north. One said, wow. I started farming onions as if our onions can feed the nation. And I was just laughing. These people are legitimate businessmen. You know, it takes planting season to harvest season is a period. It is not market that you buy bag now, you sell it now. You buy issue now, you sell it now. It's not biro, it's not paper, it's not book. It's not cloth. It is a process. Somebody will have to put it, wet it, weed it till it germinates to complete fruit, healthy for you to eat. They will not bag it, dry the, package the onions, bag it in that full-size bag that we used to buy 6,000 naira up north. They will send that bag inside truck. Somebody will pay for logistics. If you are a business person and you look at this issue that these people are raising, and you want to say because you are down south, that it is about north against south, something is wrong with you. Because you are the most dishonest person that's in Nigeria, and you are the problem Nigeria has. These people continue to be attacked. From Sasha, they've been giving ultimatum to the federal government to assist them. They are labor. NLC should carry their matter on their head.
No, that's not where.
It's not minimum wage.
It is not minimum wage. But if the onions is cheap, the minimum wage that we are complaining of, will you not be able to afford it?
Yeah.
But now it is extremely expensive, and further indices will make it more expensive. These elements of insecurity, vandalism and all of that will continue to make food stuff expensive and the country even harder for us to live in. We are not each other's brothers. When you see the truck coming and now people are vandalizing, we say, hey, I mean, don't you? So you run go and take your own.
You brought an important aspect, which is the ethnic coloration.
Yes.
So Altman have said, I am not bringing because of security issues.
As a businessman, without
not because I am against the South, not because I am against the Yoruba, but I'm against the Igbo. But how we interpret this? Oh, they said that they are not bringing it back. No. These are businessmen saying
and they
have
to take
protected us as business people, and we cannot come down to this region because you're not protected.
I think it's very, sorry, YK, I think it's very wicked for you to destroy somebody's labor. One of the issues I had with when we had the NSAS was the fact that we left the matter on ground and we started entering people's offices, people's sweat, work, things that they have built. There was a guy I saw that was crying. His boss, he's a bus driver. It's not like he was a big man. A bus driver, his boss was burnt down.
Can you imagine?
You know, so we leave the issue on ground and we start attacking people who are trying to make ends meet. That is wickedness of the highest order. Like you explained, this is a process it takes for business to grow. And then you're bringing business and somebody is standing somewhere because of how they want to relate to you, or how they think they hate you, or how they think you have hurt them to destroy your business. And you are saying that because they are from the north or they are from the south. It's not about north and south. I think it's time that we need to face criminals. Handle criminals, prosecute them so that they will stop, to deter them from going further into this. Leave ethnicity. We are all Nigerians. Face criminals. Leave people who are doing legitimate business. Now that they have banned onions, I want to see how those of us here will be able to cook well.
They did not ban onions. They took a business decision.
Yes.
If my business is at risk in a certain region, it will be stupid of me, suicidal of me to continue to do business in that place. You have to re-strategize and find another market for your business.
Yes, now.
Me, I just want to say,
how you go take basket go river?
You see, not bringing onions will not only affect, it will affect them, it will affect us.
Yeah, they will find their way.
They have a large market here.
Yeah.
So let's not even stop. Let's leave all those ones first. Let's now face government. Ask government, what are you doing about insecurity?
That's all.
Because you are there. First year, it started small. You didn't talk. You didn't nip it in the bud. Now it is escalating into full-fledged mayhem.
Yes.
And you are still there, deleting Twitter. That's your own solution to everything that's happening in Nigeria. Delete Twitter. Come on, they should wake up and deal with the issues. If they don't deal with the issues, what is happening? Tomato gun will ban.
Yes,
everybody will ban.
Yeah,
Hunger will catch all of us. Hunger will catch them up north because they don't have the market. Hunger will catch us down south because we don't have the food.
Yes.
So
please,
government, wake up. Deal with the issues. The issues are, number one, because last week, Minister of Information said we cannot use insecurity to judge. We cannot use.
What are we supposed to use then?
To judge this administration.
What?
What are we supposed to use?
What are we supposed to use? Please.
Pay that money.
Wake up and know that this is the hallmark of your
administration.
Yes. Insecurity. And you came in saying
the promises.
That was what you are going to solve.
Yes.
I am for nobody, I am for everybody.
You know,
I can never forget that speech. How that speech, wait, I'll come to you. I don't know how, I can remember how that speech made me feel. You know, you saw him stand tall like a general. You know, he's taking that first initial speech.
There will be no
that speech made me feel like, yes, he's here. The general is here. They are going to hear him.
They don't hear him.
We don't hear him.
Now we don't hear
money, farmers' money.
And then you see that's the point, because it's for nobody. Nobody is hearing him talk.
I wanted to quickly respond to, you know, how the Northerns, you know, do business. When we're out of season for certain foodstuffs, especially tomatoes, for instance, we resort to the Cotonou market, because I live along the border, and we see Cotonou, they just come in crates. They hardly do baskets. They just come in crates, and they come in at a season when our tomatoes are out of stock. So the Northerners are also sharing borders with these countries. That's why I see it. If they divert to those countries, we will buy.
That's the plan.
But we'll buy higher, because they will just take it across instead of coming straight. They'll go around, and we will end up buying it through Cotonou and Cameroon border. Let us be serious people.
But we're not even allowed to buy
government. You see, government matter is not today matter. Maria, just a minute. Government matter is not today matter. We cannot exalt them. They are totally something else. But we Nigerians, human to human, when you vandalize somebody's business shop and you are taking his food stuff and you are feeding your children, you're a thief and you're feeding your children stolen goods.
Nima, let me tell you something about a criminal. A criminal is a criminal is a criminal. There is no coloration.
There's no coloration. There's no ethnicity.
He will always be a criminal until you arrest him. That's why I have to call government. Because if government don't arrest them,
I agree with you.
We will be like this.
We cannot finish government talk, but we should talk to ourselves.
Let me go on a break. When we come back, when I say talk to ourselves, I mean that if you know your sister, your brother, your daughter, your son is there stealing and vandalizing somebody's business, and you're eating from it. That's what she's saying. I saw right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still on this matter of taking responsibility for our own actions also. Yes, there's a part of the government. But when you see people who are destroying wares, these people, I mean, I read the amount of trucks, according to them, that were destroyed. Billions of naira worth of goods, properties. And people will go there, vandalize, and bring it home, and you want to cook. Now, shouldn't we as a people also, as much as, yes, government should protect them, but shouldn't we as a people also talk to each other? How can somebody bring these wares home for free and you don't ask questions? Or you say, oh, it is for us.
I will never forget a video that Nima shared with me during NSAS. I don't know if she shared it with everybody, but I saw the video. There was a warehouse in her area.
I made that video.
I know you made the video from your house. There was a warehouse that they were raiding. They were selling generators. I can't remember what the guy was selling.
Gas cooker plants.
Gas cookers. Parts. And people were stealing even 4.
Yes.
You can't even use 4 in your house. You know, now, this is stealing.
That's us.
What her husband did was, as a responsible citizen, he started shouting and fighting people, go back. You know, now, that is, we are policing ourselves. Yes, we can police ourselves, but I will still maintain that while we can police ourselves, the cause of what is happening is...
I will
always land there. I will always land there because as Allah has a song, teacher don't teach me nonsense.
It's what we have learned over the years.
I have a caller. Come to UBC. Right. Good morning. Are you there? Thanks for calling. Hello. Hi, Yakub. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Thank you.
Yakub, before you continue, one caller called recently and accused us that how come we're always speaking Yakub's number? Please tell them again. I know you've told us before. How do you get through to us?
Morayo, it is unfortunate that since that very particular day, I've been trying to get him. I'm very sure the caller is listening today as well. For almost 6 days ago now, I could not be able to call him. And that 6 days ago, I was keeping trying. It is when if you don't have a patient, you can never call to your view. Because if you keep in there, you are trying. If you are not a patient person, you can never call in. You can never got in. And then mind you, before I have the people working with me here, like 2 people, but one of them have left. I have the other one. I give him one of the phone. I had 2 in my hand. Because of the passion that I have for the program. It is a
that's 3 phones.
And believing that maybe you were the people calling me. No, capital no. Do you even have that time to call somebody to call to the studio? No. So I would say that is a time. Morayo, if you are a good citizen of this country, you should be able to know this is one of the programs you have a reason to call into in order for you to clear your mind in every situation. That is what I'm about to do now. Morayo, do you know that Igaga issue? That very particular place, it is very close to my village. You can drive like 45 minutes before you go to my village. You mention Igaga, you mention Idere, you mention Tapa, you mention Igoro, you mention Electoral. Those are the places. As I'm talking to you, this one, I've got to the village. That they should be very vigilant. Because these people, they can plan to attack other villages that particular place. Because they are very close to each other. 2 miles, 3 miles, 4 miles to each other. So, basically, in order to cope this, the Amotekun of this era, they don't have bikes. It is like lion without teeth. You organize Amotekun without not giving them ammunition. How are they going to function? Morayo, for me and for you and every one of the good citizens of this country, we cannot police ourselves because the government does not even have the number. They don't have the number to policing us.
Right.
So in that case, Nigerian and...
Oh, sorry, Yakubu.
So painful. I just to protest what you were saying. Okay. Do you know, that's Igbongon the other day. They were there for 3 hours. No law enforcement agent went there. And 3 hours.
Where they have a police station.
And you're telling me about onion? Onion. It's not only onion that shouldn't come. Nothing should come.
It's so
How can you be raiding a village for 3 hours and nobody comes to save you?
No security
Come
agents.
on.
It's painful. So what I see is that we are naturally criminally minded. Let me use that word.
No, we.
No. I want to generalize it. It's just a few of us that are not in that space.
Man is desperately
wicked. We're naturally, and we're people that are. We have a poverty mindset. So you see even our politicians that have and will still amass because they feel they want to keep for their children and their children's children. And you see all these young people that have no hope, they are watching. So when it gets to their turn, take for instance, you see a tanker that falls on the road. And instead of people getting security agencies, you see them bailing out fuel, bailing out diesel, bailing out kerosene because they feel this is my opportunity to take advantage. Everybody is selfish in this nation and everybody is putting their own interest first. Now, as a people, we cannot help ourselves. Unfortunately, the government that is supposed to help us is not even in the position to, because they do not have the political will. They are, trying as much as possible to put their own personal interest first than saving their people. See, this thing, if the government does not curb it, it will go round and it will touch them.
Let me tell you something, because we are not naturally... We have grown to be selfish.
Yes.
Let me tell you why. See, when I was a kid, I was this high. My grandmother fainted on the road. I was with my grandmother. She fainted. Do you know that everybody, they came to her aid. They helped her. They put her on the chair. They made sure she was okay. Today, what will happen? If she faints, they will take her bag. They will take her phone.
Camera.
They will snap
video
her.
her.
Yeah.
We have grown because of non-accountability of government.
Over the years.
Over the years.
Yes, we've grown cynical.
YK,
we have to wrap up.
hit the nail
On the
so
head.
let me just take this tweet to support you. I support the woman in white.
It's not a tweet, though. It's a Facebook.
Sorry, Facebook. It's not tweet, though.
Not tweeting.
I support the woman in white. I love everything she says, because no matter what, no matter what you say, vandalizing or anything government are to be blamed. So we have institutions, and because we have institutions, people would, run to those institutions. I want to sue somebody who made a representation to me about something being good or sell a land to me that they did not have, and I want to find justice so that I'm not going there to self-help.
Yeah.
If somebody comes to my farm with their cattle and they raise down my cattle, grazing there,
who do you
I should be able
to
to go to court and get, justice
compensation.
For that. I'll be compensated monetarily for what I valued my farm to be, what I had valued that I will harvest. That's the normal circle of things. But leave it for God, leave it for God. Don't worry, okay, he has a big man somewhere. I know he cannot be arrested.
Now keep us here.
Lack of accountability
so
is why we got here.
Let me wrap it up this way, because we have to wrap up on this. From what we've been talking about this for a while now, as of today, what we are getting to see is that from the Southwest point of view, we are being infiltrated by foreigners who are killer headsmen. There are also Fulani headsmen from the North who are doing legitimate businesses.
In the South.
Now, those of us who are reacting and using self-help, we are reacting to both those who are coming with legitimate business and those who are infiltrating our territory. So we are blinded by the fact that, okay, these people all speak the same language, do the same similar businesses. So we are now reacting. And what we are seeing today is that there are two different people. Those foreigners are the ones that were saying, government, please help defend us from these people.
Data.
And those who are bringing businesses were saying, please don't destroy them because we need each other. We are the legitimate Nigerians. So with this new knowledge that we have, which Nigerians are trying not to see, there are some criminal elements who choose not to see it that way and just equate everybody as like, oh, they are all these northerners. They are all the enemy. No, we have just one common enemy, the criminals killing innocent people.
Yes.
That's regardless of which color they come in. Yes. So that's what we the people are saying. We are beginning to see that these are the common enemy that the government must help us and equip the people.
It's their work
to defend us.
It's the government's work.
To defend us.
To defend our unity and uphold our honor and glory. So help us God.
On that note, let's go to a break. When we come back, it's Tuesday. We're going to health. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So there is no end to the benefits of donating blood for those who need it, according to the American Red Cross. One donation can save as many as 3 lives. And someone somewhere in the world needs blood every 2 seconds. Joining us on the show to speak on the importance of blood donation is a consultant hematologist and blood transfusion specialist, Dr. Miyetti Allah. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Very pretty doctor. She doesn't look like a doctor.
Thank you very much.
Funky.
Oh, your son is a Shikomaya.
Yes, I am.
Oh, so Dr.
Funky jeans,
Miyetti
everything.
Oh, my street is a Shikomaya, so that means you are the landlord of my street.
Something like that.
Something like that. Anyways, how you doing?
Thank you very fine, thank you.
So, it's always, this conversation sometimes is difficult to have because people don't understand the need. They feel like, it's not my business now. Why do I need to give blood? So tell us the need to give blood and why is it important at this time?
First of all, we need to give blood because people need to be alive by that blood. So many people are dying because we don't have adequate blood in the system. Also because the blood might not be safe. So we need to donate blood in a safe way for those that need it. That's the first reason. The second reason is because of ourselves. There are lots of benefits for donating blood. So when I donate blood, first of all, I'm saving life. I will feel happy. There's a study that says blood donors are not depressed people. They are happy because they are doing something good. Also, there's an opportunity for you to have an health check. You know, you go there, we check your blood pressure, we check your pulse rate. We want to check the blood level. There are diseases that comes with high or low amounts of blood. You also have an opportunity to actually have your iron levels put at very stable levels. There are studies that say people that have low iron levels have a low risk of cardiac diseases. We have a low risk of cancers. Well, to me, that's the most awesome part of it. And just before we came here, we talked about blood donation and weight loss. There are studies that say that once you donate blood, you can lose about 600 kilocalories at each time.
Let me go and donate.
Well, it will maintain that weight, actually, because you can't donate all the time. But 600 calories. I try to do exercises, and for each session of exercise, about 30 minutes, I lose about 100+ calories. So if I can lose 600 calories within maybe 5 minutes, then that's an awesome thing.
Wow.
Dr. Shikomaya,
yes.
How do I know now that the blood I have is enough for me before I go and give it? Because Nima has been trying to squeeze me to donate blood since 3 years ago now. But I'm not very sure if my blood is enough for me, myself.
Well, before we take that blood, we will ask you a set of questions, even before we do any test. You have the donor eligibility questionnaire. We will ask you different questions about your health history, about what is happening to you now for females, if you're on your menstrual period, if you're pregnant, if you're breastfeeding. We want to know if you've had tattoos. So we want to ask all those questions.
What does tattoo have to do anything?
Well, if you have tattoos, then you have to have a deferral for about 1 year from the last time the tattoo was done.
Why is that?
Well, because you're using sharp objects to do it. And so we want to be sure that
you're not
infected at any time. We don't want to be sure, we don't want to take a chance, even though we'll do the tests, to be sure that the blood is safe. So after that, we will do your blood pressure, and then we'll take a little bit, a drop. We'll use a point of care test that gives us the level of your blood within 30 seconds.
Okay.
If your blood level, that's your hemoglobin level, is 12.5 grams and above, then we will take the blood from you.
If it's not?
If it's not, we'll just tell you, go back home, eat well, take some Imatinics, and we'll see you again in 3 months' time.
Ah.
You know, like me now, my blood is boiling because of what's happening in Nigeria.
Do you take boiled blood?
Because my blood is boiling.
It doesn't really matter. We'll check if it's enough. It's enough. We'll take it. No problem. I'll take the blood out so that it can at least calm down a little bit.
So I had the same mindset about blood donation. I used to be scared about it. My first attempt was 2010 at law school, and they came and they talked about blood donation, and I just said I wanted to do it. Something else said, run it through your husband. The guy says, don't donate blood though, so that you can land Lagos safely, as if I was just going to die. So I want you to help us paint the picture of, you know, the benefits. I mean a person who benefited from blood, that, you know, a blood donor was able to save their life, that you have seen. You know, such an example, so that people would see how important it is. My mindset changed when I was on bed rest, and I was able to see people survive because there was blood available. And we actually lost someone whose blood type was being searched for everywhere. So, you know, it was out of hand.
Yeah, I will give you examples. Actually, I wish they were here to give their stories themselves. We have a lot of people that have been saved. I will start from my own personal experience. I have my father that was losing blood from his anus uncontrollably, and he had 30 units of blood within 24 hours. And because of it, if he sees any young person, he'll tell you, have you donated blood? Because he was saved by it. Imagine if there was no blood at that time. You know, sometimes you could have the money, you could have the people around you. It's the blood that is in the blood bank that can save lives. Because if you donate blood now, you really cannot use that blood. We need to screen the blood. You need to be sure that it is safe. That's why we encourage people to donate blood. We also have, about 2 weeks ago, we had a woman that was discharged from one of the general hospitals after having 35 units of blood and blood products. When she was discharged, I was very, very happy. I had to see her. I had to thank God for her life. Understand, 35 units of blood and blood products over the period that she delivered.
Understand? Break it down for me. 35 units. Now, how many units do you take per person?
We take 1 unit per person.
1 unit. So about 30 people have donated what she 35 people. Oh my goodness. Whoa.
So is there an age limit to the blood, the people who can donate, like 60 plus?
Okay. So you can donate at 60 plus, but there's a clause. So the age for donation is between 18 years and 65 years. So the clause between 60 there's a clause. Actually, there's a clause. So the clause between 60 and 65 years old is that you must have been a regular blood donor. You know, as you grow older, you will have a lot of clinical conditions. So if you have been a regular blood donor, you would have noticed this from the questions, from the blood tests, and all that we do.
So it's late now?
It's, if you're above 60 and you've never donated, then it's late. Well, you can be an advocate. Tell people to donate blood. There is really a lot you can do.
All of you, go and donate.
Talking to the advocate. Talk to the advocate.
She just turned 50 like last month. So so it's not a big deal. She can still squeeze it.
Let's squeeze it.
No, actually, she could do much more. We're actually running a program. We launched a project at Lagos Blood Transfusion Service, which is each one reach 10. We know that not everybody can donate blood, even though we want blood, even though we want everybody to, as much people to donate as possible, but not everybody can donate blood. So you could just reach out to 10 people to donate blood, ensure those 10 people. No. She's already donated. She's already a blood donor.
There are 2 at home. 4.
They must donate.
Yes, please. So you say that if I donate today, every 3 months we should donate. So we can make it a culture for every 3 months.
That is what Isha said perfectly. Isha, you hit a nail on it.
Yeah, so are there any side effects to donating blood?
Well, the first side effects it's actually an experience. You can feel some pain. That's the first thing. The pain at the points. So we always have to explain to you that, please, you're going to feel this needle prick. It's some people are afraid of needles. So we have to explain, prepare your mind so that it doesn't go and then you get into, maybe you have some anxiety or shock. So that's the first thing. But to some people, it's really nothing. But as we become a regular donor, you really do not see that
form of dizziness, you're weak.
Well, that's the next thing. Because you could be dizzy, and especially if you're a first-time donor, we advise that you take a lot of fluids, you rest, and then anxiety could cause that dizziness. That's why first-time donors, I really more susceptible to it. So if you're a first-time donor, we make you happy, we talk to you, there's really no big deal.
You can lie down somewhere.
You lie down, yeah. And then that's the second thing. So before you do it, we would have counseled you about it. Advise to take a lot of fluids, tell you that there is no problem. You would have seen other people donating. Then after the donation, to reduce the incidence of dizziness, you lie down on the bed, on the couch, for about 10 minutes maximum. And then you also take your fluids there. And when you're going to stand up, we'll tell you take it easy. When you get home, don't do any strenuous activities.
My first experience was I didn't even feel any dizziness.
Anti-donator.
Yes. I got in my car, and the doctors were trying to get me to sit. I said, don't worry. I even suggested to one of the doctors. And I drove off. I got home after 2 hours. I couldn't get up. I slept through. I would open my eyes, but I couldn't get up. So it was delayed for me. It's not the same for everybody. But I want you to talk about this deficit. Why it's now important to be appealing to people to donate. We know that the law that compels us to have our husbands donate at, at pregnancy and used to help fill the banks is no longer there.
So as you said, before now, in Lagos State and in most parts of the world, we usually depend on replacement donors. So the replacement donors, we actually depend on more in Lagos State as the husbands of women. So before they register, we will encourage them to bring their husbands. If the husbands do not donate blood, sorry about that, if the husbands don't come in to donate blood, the registration is delayed. Okay. So because we know that this is a public health crisis, human rights crisis, a group of people came up and said, no, you can't do this. Let the woman donate, and then the husband or the family members should come, let the woman register, and then the husband or family members can come in to donate later. But trust us, Nigeria, because blood donation is not our culture, people retreated and they did not donate. So we have our blood banks low. However, if you look at what WHO says, WHO has encouraged us that the only way we can keep our blood banks filled up is if we have 100% voluntary blood donation.
Wow.
If you also look at what the mandate
of... I will not be an advocate, don't worry.
If you also look at what...
See the cameramen, they've all said they're going to come.
They will, you need to donate. WHO also advises, knowing fully well where to get the blood is one thing. The amount of blood we need is another thing. So the WHO did some studies, and we found out that 1 to 2% of the population of any community is what we need to provide the needs for blood. So if you look at Nigeria now, 200 million, how many are we talking about? 2 million units. If you look at Lagos State, we are between 24 and 26. Let's take the lower 124 million. We need at least 214,000 units. But really, we are not even getting up to half of that.
So to put this
that's why we need to donate blood.
To put this in more graphic perspective, so imagine a car accident happens right now, and they rush that victim to the hospital. And they say, you know how we say, oh, Nigeria, oh, the doctor is not available. There's no this, there's no that. And while the doctor is trying to see if we can get blood in the bank, there's no, because they know this person has lost a lot of blood. And the initial thing they need right now is blood.
Yes.
Unfortunately, there's no blood. I would say, they died dead on arrival. So it's these little things that we talk about it casually and loosely. But the truth is that we must play also our part to donate blood, so that if the doctor knows that there's blood in the bank, as the victim is coming in, he already knows that, okay, we need X amount of units to save this person's life. So this is an important
Temitope says, me that donated blood in school because they are giving Indomie, malt, and milk. So it's an incentive.
Yes, look, it's a very important thing. You need to look at what has happened in different climes. Before people became completely, voluntary donation is an habit. It's a habit. It's a culture that you need to develop. Incentives really goes a long way. I want to be appreciated because I've donated blood. I've donated a part of myself. I've donated a part of my life. If you tell me thank you, I appreciate it. If you tell me, okay, thank you with this wonderful bag, with this wonderful T-shirt, it goes a long way. Understand? And then there's also the belief that it's only things like a malt drink or maybe water or some food that can help to replenish that blood. So we are in a culture that we appreciate thank you. We appreciate people with a gift. It's just normal.
Thank you, accompanied.
Yes. So I asked somebody, if you go to the restaurant and you tip the waiter that served you food, why can't I say thank you to someone that donated a part of his or her life?
But there's also the beautiful part of, I felt good when somebody that we were able to donate, my husband was able to donate for, at the hospital was able to have a child. But the person I donated for my first time, the person passed. And I didn't feel, I felt relieved, less guilty. And what if I didn't donate after the person passed? I would have died of that guilt. So sometimes the compensation is not in the material things. It could be.
So what you're saying, what I'm hearing now is that there are lots of wealthy Nigerians today looking for how to give back. Exactly. They want to start NGOs. They are tired of the same old girl child, this one, and they not that they're tired, but the information out there is on cancer, breastfeeding, and all that. But this is another area that nobody's doing much on. If you have an NGO whose job is just to give incentives, to encourage people to donate and will give incentives, they come up with means like gift cards or things to let people know that if you donate blood, we give you this as an NGO. I think it's worth.
But let me even ask, what sort of preparation do you need to make before you go into donate? Is there something you can do a few days before? Eat or something?
Yes, the first thing is, as I said before, a lot of fluids. Blood is fluid, so you need to take a lot of fluids. The second, you want you to eat a very healthy meal, no fatty meals, because once you take fatty meals, it will show in the quality of the blood. So you reduce your fatty meals. Anyway, we don't want anybody eating fatty meals nowadays. We are quite health conscious now, so don't take a fatty meal. If you smoke and if you drink, please stop that for at least 24 hours before donation.
No champagne too.
No champagne 24 hours before. So people have asked me that if I smoke, can't I donate blood? If I drink, can't I donate blood? No, it's not a permanent deferral. But if your lifestyle with that smoking and drinking does not support blood donation, like having multiple sexual partners with what you're doing, or like having maybe a recent clarification before that, then we will not allow you donate. But smoking and drinking on its own is not a permanent deferral for donating
Let's
blood.
talk about what you're doing as to advocate this subsequently. What's your work about? What more?
Well, right now we have quite a number of programs that we're doing. As I said earlier on, I talked about the Each One Reach 10 campaign, because we know that not everybody can donate blood. We need people to talk about it. Legacy Blood Transfusion Service has the mandate to do this advocacy, but we can't do it alone. Look at the whole of Lagos State. I can't go around. The staff in Lagos State can't go around. The civil servants can't go around. We want everybody that is listening here, everybody in and out of the country, to talk to at least 10 people to donate blood. And they should donate blood in the safest place. We do not encourage to just go to any private place because you don't know. So there are some licensed places you can donate. Like? We have the Lagos Blood Transfusion Service. Please donate there. We have all the general hospitals. We donate there. We have some private blood banks that actually do blood transfusion services. So you could blood donation services. So you could reach out to us, reach out to me. I'll give you the number so that we can tell you where you can go to.
Any general hospital right now, say I want to donate blood.
They will take you.
They will take you. Yes. And just make sure you had that you're a voluntary donor too.
Voluntary donor.
Yes. Okay, that's the first. And second thing, we have the World Blood Donors Day. World Blood Donors Day is a yearly observance, international one, where we try to say thank you to those that donate already and encourage new people to actually donate blood too. It's also a time to reach out to the governments to do a little bit more to encourage blood donation. Like we're talking about having the donation in general hospitals. Some people don't like going to general hospitals to donate blood. They'll tell you, oh, I don't want to go to the hospital to donate blood. I have a phobia for hospitals. So it's a call out, for example, for the government to build blood donation sites. Yes. Yes, talking about vans, that's another one. We are going to have one coming up very soon. The Mr. Governor has been gracious enough to approve one for us. You will see it coming out in Grand Star very soon.
Bank?
A mobile blood van, so that we can go around to collect blood from different places, from workplaces, from markets, from homes. Understand? So these are
lie down my bed and donate.
And donate.
That would be sweet.
No, put it into the van and you donate in the van in a controlled atmosphere.
You were saying, add that you're a voluntary donor. Do people sell their blood?
Yeah, okay. Yes, we have different types of blood donors. We have the voluntary blood donors. They are the most important people. They are the only ones that can keep the blood bank full at all times. We have the replacement donors. Replacement donors are divided into two. The husband donors that do not legally exist any longer. And then the family replacement donors. For example, you have a surgery and they're like, oh, you have a surgery tomorrow. You need to donate 2 units of blood. So that blood is, in preparation for a particular maybe surgery or procedure. And then we have the commercial donors. These ones go out and they will sell the blood for a particular fee. That we do not encourage. Blood was given free, then why should we sell it? Understand? So we do not encourage it. Unfortunately, there are quite a number of people out there that sell their blood. I'm reaching out to you. Please give it free. I know that we all need funds, but let us give blood freely.
I met one at
Obiajulu, give your blood free.
I know. I didn't plan to have blood. Like, I didn't plan to sell. Never. But I was just
See, I said, you know that there's
I knew people who
blood inside
survived in school donating blood and getting paid for it.
I meant to
really? Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, I know that there's some people outside Luth that's their work.
I just saw them lose one young man, and after 2 months he's coming to donate again.
We have to wrap up. But I think Nima has brought this to us, and I think it's important that we support it. And I think YK is also convinced, and I think we all have to. I'll be there by God's grace next week to give blood.
Well, before next week, there's something happening tomorrow. We have a symposium tomorrow. You know, blood issues comes with a lot of discussions. So at the Bureau Hall tomorrow by 10 a.m., we have a symposium whereby we will have also panel discussions. Everybody needs to voice out what they think about blood. We can't keep saying donate blood, and I'm not listening to you. Just like what you do here, it's time for us to listen to people, to one another. What are the challenges in donating blood? What can we do better? So we're going to have a symposium. We're going to have the Lagos Council of Arts and Culture there to give us a bit of entertainment. We're going to have a voluntary donation drive there too, and so many things. We're going to have awards. In short, tomorrow you're going to see this young girl that won the competition. Look, the advocacy is really going on. So many people are reaching out to others. So everybody come in at Bureau Hall. We are going to have a symposium.
But we are the Monday one.
Okay, on the 14th of June, we are having a voluntary donation drive and award ceremony at our Bagada Center. It was newly commissioned.
What time to what time?
Also by 10 to 4 p.m. And on the 16th, the mega drive of all. We are collaborating and partnering with all else associations, so Nigeria Medical Association, Association of Medical Laboratory Scientists of Nigeria, Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, and Nursing Association of National Association of Midwives and Nursing of Nigeria. So we are collaborating with the people that take care of patients. So it's not about donate blood, it's about we that are also taking care of them. We need to be able to know the real reason why we need to do it. So it's going to be a mega donor drive on the 16th in 7 centers in Lagos State. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We have to wrap up, but I think, ladies, let us end with donate blood today.
Donate blood today. Not today, next week.
Join us.
I'll be there.
Thank you very much.
On Monday, right?
On Monday, I should be there. I have an important meeting, but I'll see. If not, I'll do it on the 16th. But I'll definitely.
Thank you very much.
So we're going to try to advocate. I'll be YK.
I see the cameramen have been doing their used to it.
Let's end the show together. Let's donate blood today.
Yes.
Want to go?
Donate blood today.
It has to be free, right?
Yes. It has to be free.
Think about the life. There are some comments on YouTube.
Go ahead, YK. Let me let you.
I don't want to read them. They are saying, they're talking about there is blood everywhere. They are going back to the insecurity.
Yeah.
That's not the kind, because if we can save some of those people who are
injured, even during the insecurity, people lose blood. And there is really no blood for them.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, so it's all intertwined. We can't do one without the other.
All right, that's all we can take on the show. Tomorrow, God forbid, anybody here might need blood. It's important that we give blood and let blood in the bank. That's all we can take on the show today. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.